Welcome back, and another very important Arab file, as equal as the truce between Saudi Arabia and the Yemen, and the new transitional council in Yemen, Lebanon. And we have seen some developments in Lebanon in order to be able to solve the Lebanese financial or economic crisis from one side, have a new prime minister on the other hand, and the support of Arabs on the third front. I guess to be able to discuss the issue, we have with us over the phone Ambassador Hussein Harridy, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good afternoon to you, sir, and happy Ramadan.
Thank you very much. Happy Ramadan to you and to your good listeners.
Thank you so much. And we're speaking today about Lebanon. Lebanon is very confusing, has always been very confusing for years and years. But particularly the way it is, or the status of Lebanon at this very particular time is has not been reached, and is unprecedented, particularly in the economic situation. First, let me see the developments that have occurred to Lebanon so far after the return of Saudi Arabia and Kuwait ambassadors and some other Arab ambassadors to Lebanon recently.
Well, I guess lately we've been hearing positive news coming out of Lebanon. On the one hand, the Lebanese government is about to sign a deal with the International Monetary Fund, whereby the fund would provide Lebanon with $3 billion that would really give a boost to the Lebanese economy. And on the other hand, the announcement that Saudi Arabia decided the return of its ambassador to Beirut as well as Kuwait. Well, these are positive news, and let's hope that with the deal, with the accord with the IMF signed, and with new financial assistance from Gulf Cooperation Council member countries, Lebanon would be in a position to deal effectively, constructively with the political and economic financial challenges that the Lebanese have been facing for the last few years, challenges that have exacted enormous tolls on the Lebanese people. So we, the observers and Lebanon watchers, are following developments, the latest developments in Lebanon, with certain kind of optimism. And when we are discussing the situation in Lebanon, we have to have a broader look. I guess what's going in Lebanon now is a proof that the region is, or the leading powers in the region are repositioning themselves to deal with new realities in the near future. In this context, we can view the accord in Yemen, by which the Yemeni president, relinquished his responsibilities to a presidential council that would be entrusted, or that has been entrusted, with finding a way out in order to bring the war in Yemen to an end, and to begin the reconstruction with a capital letter, reconstruction, economic reconstruction, political reconciliation, And also, these developments in Yemen, which were really welcomed by Egypt and by Arab countries, by the United Nations, by leading powers, I guess these developments augur well for the future of Yemen. I believe that the warring parties in Yemen have come to the realization that using force has led to the near destruction of Yemen as a country, as a state, as a society. So it's about time to try peaceful means of settling the problems that had given rise to this unnecessary war among the people in Yemen and various political forces.
Yes. But returning back to Lebanon, because the situation in Lebanon, yes, you here spoke about a very important IMF talks so far, but we're speaking about this this deal that will be discussed and that the Lebanese Central Bank governor said he hopes that they could meet the terms of the IMF. But that also comes ahead, just weeks ahead of parliamentary elections that will take part in Lebanon. That would be followed by a government formation, which is usually the problem. So how do you view this complicated situation in Lebanon? What does Lebanon need at this very upcoming stage in order to be able to return back to the stage?
Well, of course, let's wait for the elections, madam, on May 15th. It's the people of Lebanon who would choose their representatives. And let's hope that the new representatives would approve, because I understand that in order for the agreement with the IMF to enter into force, it needs parliamentary approval. So we don't know whether the present parliament would approve it or the next one after the general elections on May the 15th. But of course, we can't foretell the future. We don't have any idea who would be the new representatives for the Lebanese people in the next Lebanese parliament. But personally speaking, I don't think that we would see new figures, new political figures. The same political parties, the same political forces would send their representatives to parliament. Let us hope that the new parliament, with the experience of the last years, would deal with the economic situation in Lebanon differently and constructively. Now, once the agreement with the IMF is signed, the road ahead would be very challenging for the new Lebanese government that would come out of the next parliamentary elections. Will the new Lebanese government be headed by the same public figures, by the same political figures that we have seen in the last 2 or 3 decades, or the Lebanese people would send to the new parliament new faces that understand the needs of the Lebanese people and are genuinely interested in finding solutions to the serious financial and economic situation facing Lebanon, let alone the Middle East policy of the new Lebanese government. We understand that any new government should stay away from regional alliances, because this is the safety net for the Lebanese, whether in politics or in the economy. So let's wait, madam, and let's wait for the elections next May 15th, and see what would come out of it. would it lead to the same government setup, or it would lead to a new political reconfiguration in Lebanon?
Well, actually, we really are hoping for this upcoming period for Lebanon that they would really reach a settlement and find their consensus and find their success in being able to retain back their own country. Ambassador Hussein Harridy, former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much. And I guess that takes us to the end of this episode of our program, Arab Affairs. Until next Saturday, new Arab Files, and goodbye.